Exciting is that 1 Million Cups in Louisiana is actually streaming us live today for their 1 Million Cups presentation. So, hi Louisiana, thanks for tuning in. We also have coffee from Crescendo that's sponsored by Nordic. In terms of announcements go, we're always looking for new presenters and additional audience members. It's great when we have people to be able to ask our presenters questions, so feel free to invite your friends and encourage them to come. And if you know of a company that would benefit from presenting, let us know. It's an easy process, and Sarah's happy to walk anybody through it. One quick plug on, starting on the 21st, Forward Fest is kicking off. It's a big tech and entrepreneurial festival through the city. There's a lot going on. Check out forwardfest.org. 1 Million Cups will be a part of that. And then I'm also hosting an event with Shobin Thacker from HealthX Ventures called We Are All Criminals. And it'll be held in this room. We have Emily Baxter coming down from Minnesota, who's the director of the program. And we're going to look at how the criminal justice system treats people of color and people who are poor, and how ban-the-box issues and criminal records can affect employment, housing, and basically increase crime in your community. So please come to that. There will be free beer from Mobcraft and food from Underground Collective. And then I'm going to have to give a shout out to Willie. Willie, I'd hate to put you on the spot, but Export Abroad was one of our presenters here, and Willie had an opportunity to actually go meet the president and go to the White House and represent Madison, so congratulations to you. Excellent. I think that's it on announcements, so I will just let you know I'm Rachel Neal. I'm one of our organizers at 1 Million Cups. I also work at Nordic Consulting.
Question.
Good morning, I'm Sarah Nettie. I'm an organizer of 1 Million Cups. I also do people operations at Catalyze, which is the health IT company downtown.
My name is Garrett Lee. I'm developing a startup and nonprofit. The nonprofit is Y. The startup is Good Point, and I'm working out of the 100State co-work space.
My name's Molly Siegel, and I work at a business intelligence startup company here in town called Taliban.
Good morning, my name is Amanda Helverson. I work at Adams Outdoor Advertising, and we do billboard advertising in Dane County.
My name is Megan. I'm one of the organizers for 1 Million Cups. I'm also a consultant at Nordic. And I've spent a lot of time at 100State with our two presenters here, so I'm really excited to see them present.
Hi, I'm Varun Bhargava. I work for a startup called Retail Next.
And Varun is also presenting next week.
So. Plug yourself. Yeah. Good to know.
My name is Kurt Sonnenberg. I recently released a wine app on iPhone and in process of expanding the capabilities of it through hopefully new investors.
Hi, and my name is William Hakizimana. I'm the CTO of Export Abroad.
I'm Taylor King. I'm with the City of Sun Prairie's Economic Development Department, and I used to help organize 1 Million Cup Cedar Valley in Iowa.
Neil Stexelty. I'm the Director of Economic Development for City of Sun Prairie with Taylor here. We're just here to help learn more about 100State and be able to refer companies and other startups, possibly, hopefully, down to the resources that'll be here.
I'm Drew Corson. I'm a member at 100State and an attorney at Knight & Boucher, and I do the legal work for 100State.
I'm Vanessa Rodello. I work with the YWCA Madison, and with Adorable as a web design and development company. And I'm here to hear Gregory's word on 100State these days.
Great, thank you. And we'll turn it over to the presenters.
Cool. So as a little introduction before we get started, my name is Christian Kaczmarczyk. I'm the operations assistant at 100State, so I help from day-to-day stuff and other various things. And
my name is Gregory St. Fort. I'm the executive director at 100State. First, I want everyone to give a round of applause for yourself for coming out this morning, so please, everyone clap it up. I know it's early. Thank you for everyone in Madison and Louisiana who's watching us right now. So that's pretty awesome to spread the word about co-working in 100 states to people around the nation, which is exciting to us. 100 State, we're a co-working space down in Mifflin, above the Veterans Museum. We've been in existence for just 2 years. We've been very excited about everything that we've been doing and everything that we're accomplishing for 2016. We have some really major plans that we want to work on. We're going to talk about some of that today. This presentation, very informal. We're just going to make sure it's very loose, and we want to really make sure there's enough time for Q&As because we really want to get your feedback on things and any ideas and suggestions. That's what we really want from this presentation. But we're going to go over a few things and take it from there. Everyone here knows what co-working is? Well, there's a lot of us know here. There's a few members here. So if you're a 100 State member, could you raise your hand? So we have over 200 members now, so we passed the 200 mark, which we're very excited about, and we have a very diverse group of members. You have Willie, who was at the White House recently, like Rachel said, which we're very excited about. We have good point from Garrett. There's a lot of people who are doing amazing things, from magicians to artwork to web development to coding, and we're very excited to kind of continue to develop that community, and our members are kind of why we're here and why we still exist, because their contribution means everything to us. So we're going to go into explaining a little bit more about what our space looks like and what we do.
So 100 State really comes down to three main things. We have co-working, startups, and community. And for those of you who don't necessarily know what co-working is, there's a lot of people that are moving on to 21st century workers, is that there are a lot of remote workers and there's also a lot of freelancers. So a lot of them work out of home or out of coffee shops. So they're trying to transition, trying to find a place to work where they're not distracted, and then kind of have a place to sit down and look at. And right, as you can see right here, this is kind of our workspace. So people can kind of just chime in, work wherever they really want to, and make sure they get their work done. We also offer conference rooms, so if you have clients coming in, you have a more professional environment instead of your living room or some random coffee shop. And then if you ever want to settle down while you're at work, kind of ease off, we do offer couches and other sort of relaxation amenities. We have the kitchen as well, free coffee, beer on tap. So it's a lot of good amenities for just people that are out of home working here.
Startups are a big part of what we do, and when we say startups, we do mean whether it's on the commercial side or the nonprofit side. We support both. So here's a picture, and there's Willie, and there goes Obama. So that's another shout out for Willie. So we definitely want to give him a highlight. We have Joy Tang, who was presenting at what's it called?
It's called Technori. It's a startup in Chicago. They do presentations for different startups all across the country. And Markable, which is Joy Tang's startup, she was actually one of 5 e-commerce apps / mobile applications that allow you to use e-commerce, and she was selected, which is pretty big honor.
Yep, and we have a lot of different startups in our space. We released out 8 offices. This consists of different startups and who have a lot of scalable businesses who are working aggressively to get it off the ground. And we're just always excited about a lot of the press that our members have received. So we've had a lot of our members and featured in the Cap Times, Black Enterprises. There's a long list of press releases that our members have received. And what's really amazing is that when they receive press, they still give a good shout out to 100 State because they know they're developing their ideas within our community.
And another big aspect is that we have a huge community presence. We are a nonprofit, so we like to kind of show off different things that are going on in Madison. One of the initiatives that we have is 100 Arts, so we try to display different artworks from different artists all over Madison. So if you come to our workspace, we have arts on the wall, we have paintings, photos for photographers, shots, and we try to give them shout outs and try to make sure they expand the community. We also have problem-solving soirees and brainstorms. But the thing is, it's not just those community memberships that come in and try to present their ideas. We try to have different members try to get involved as well. So in this shot on the left over here, we had Edgewood College come in and talk about the different problems in the east side of Madison, where it's a pretty predominant low-income neighborhood, and they want to try to improve the situation, try to get away from that low-income area. Willie was actually a big person to get some information out, and he provided a lot of good feedback for them. So it's not just them coming in. All of our members try to get involved and try to make sure they can collaborate on different ideas.
Yep. Essentially, our members leverage their skill sets to help the outer community. So we've had the Boys and Girls Club have came to us, and they wanted to improve their social media. So a bunch of our members who are either social media expertise or really good at it with their own business, they would just kind of give their own ideas on how an organization can improve of it. So that's been like a big part of what we do. We do a brainstorm every Wednesday at 4 p.m. and every week there's a different group or organization that comes in. So it's been very great for our members, because our members also act as volunteers. So that's a big part of it. So when they spent this 1 hour a week, that's an hour of volunteering, and the strength in numbers. So if 10 people invest an hour, that's 10 hours of service to another organization. Our story. So it started. 100State started before Christian and Brent. It started Christian and myself, and Brent as well, who's not here. He had another engagement he had to attend. It started as Caboose Co-working by the founders. So they just had, they wanted to have an environment where they can create their ideas and help the community at the same time. So they just were crazy. They wanted to do a lot of different things, and the strength in numbers. So here's a picture of the founders and the people who started it. So I mean, this picture of Megan, who was there in the beginning. You have Mike Fenchel, Andrew, James, Nico, and Joe Sweeney. These are also the board members as well, and they're still very active in terms of our community. So they work with me and just kind of figuring out how we can continue our growth, develop new ideas, continue to be innovative, maintain our culture. So it's kind of very, they still hands-on to the most part in what we're doing right now. And here's the current leadership right now. So it's me, Brent, and Christian. I'm the executive director. Brent is the community development and still handles a lot of everything with 100 Arts, and Christian handles a lot of our operations. What we're doing now, so just to kind of give a quick overview of some of the things, some of it we already mentioned, but we have different types of events and resources to cater to the segments of our community. So because of our growth, we have to have, I guess you could say, sub-communities within our bigger community to cater to certain needs. So we have one is kind of like 1 Million Cubs. It's a national event that happens every first Wednesday, and it's called Freelancers Spark. So every month there's a different topic freelancers would discuss to kind of enhance their skill set. So one thing we had, the first one we did was called negotiating rates. So we had a big discussion on how do you negotiate your rates, because everyone has different perspective and different experience with it. So like new members or someone who just started being a freelancer and I'm a web designer, I'm like, well, how do I charge this client? Then they'll meet another person like Matt Nelson, who's one of our members, who designed the 100State website, he's like a professional freelancer for like how many years? He'll give good advice on like, hey, this is how you should charge your rate based on your portfolio, based on your experience, based on what the client is trying to do, what's your added value, and so forth. So we be able to, each month we get together, and it's been great so far. It's been very consistent in terms of the attendance, and we want to kind of continue developing that out. Other things that happen at 100State.
So another thing we're trying to get involved with is in the student community. So Madison College, MATC came to us for the Madison College Challenge. We provided students who won the competition, or at least top 5, a membership at 100State and also practice on their pitches. So they came to us wondering, okay, here's my pitch, where can I improve, and maybe how can I get better at speaking. So here's one of the photos. They gave us a certificate for this, for thanking our efforts for it. But we're also getting involved soon with the University of Wisconsin. We also have done work with Edgewood College, as we did with brainstorms. So getting involved more with the student community is what we would like to do, and make sure we keep growing that way.
Another event series that happens at 100State, and this is organized by members, is a startup grind. Each month they'll have a different speaker. Next month, August 24th, they're also having an event for Forward Fest, where they're going to have the CEO of Zendesk come in. Zendesk is also a 100State sponsor as well. And this is part of the added value to our space and what we do, because members are contributing to the platform that we have.
Another thing we like to do with our members is that we have a monthly town hall. At the monthly town hall, we like to select a member of the month. And we mainly do it just because we want to give insights to the rest of the community about some of our members doing great work. Here's Dana Wentz. She started the Power of Judge, which provides different products for your lifestyle, so try to improve your health. And it's mainly catered towards women, but she plans to expand in other areas. But the biggest thing is just giving insights to other members and potentially different ideas to these members. And the more members know about our other members doing great things, the potential that they'll get inspired and or provide feedback to those ideas.
And you know, some of the other things, which when we have these different event series, is kind of continue the growth and make sure they're like reach another level. So like one thing we were always happy about is like 1 million cups started at 100State, and it got bigger and it improved, and now it's happening at the library. And that's, you know, part of, I guess, the success stories in terms of what we do. We want things to happen at 100State, which is exciting. And if it gets bigger and bigger and then it has to go somewhere else, that's great, right? Because we actually want that. It's like if you're going to college, you don't want to be there for 20 years, right? At some point, you grow, and it's still connected. So 1 million cups is like a perfect example for that, because it's still plugged in into 100State, even though it's physically happening somewhere else. I mean, there's, you know, Varun is presenting next week, and he's a 100State member, and we're actually happy to still have that connection. What's next? So right now we're working on some other projects to kind of expand what we've already have done. So we wanted to put, we've done pretty well on the startup side, the freelancer side, the community side, and right now we're working on the education side. So we're working on developing a coding school in partnership with a lot of other organizations in Madison. So we've talked to Starting Block to be a part of that process of developing it. There's a lot of other partners and potential sponsors who are excited about the idea. We want it to be very complementary to Madison's ecosystem, where it's like it involves a lot of our sponsors. It has a hiring process, and then it's scalable at the same time and sustainable, which is probably the biggest thing. So we're really working on it. We're gathering all the resources. We've already gathered a lot of resources thus far. And you know, we're going to kind of little by little release news on this with other organizations that are involved. Another project that we're working on is called a startup tour, where we're going to be connecting Madison with other co-working spaces across the country. So right now, you know, we've been in contact with a lot of co-working in the Midwest, so we're going to start there in Chicago and Minneapolis, and we're kind of excited about it. Like, we had started the idea a while ago, but during the transitioning of the new positions, we were like, well, let's make sure we get it right, because there's a lot of different things that are happening. But we definitely want, you know, we're definitely going to make it pretty big, and we thought it'd be a great way to kind of expose some of Madison's talent to other places. So you'll get more updates on that as well. Working with Starting Block, so that's like something that we're excited about, because Starting Block is part of just this idea of this explosion of the entrepreneur community in Madison, and we just want to continue to support that. So anytime we can plug in Starting Block into something what we're doing, we're definitely down to do that, because it's all about us working together. We're always about collaboration over competition. And 100 things, so expect a big invite. You probably all will receive one. So we're doing our annual event 100 Thanks this fall, so we're going to announce the date sometime after Forward Fest. 100 Thanks is our annual event, which pretty much highlights our community, everything we've done, our sponsors, and so forth.
And none of this would have not been possible without our many sponsors around Madison community. So we'd like to thank them for everything they do. I mean, without them, we can't grow. It's how we like to do it. And without them, we also can't do many of the things that we do every day. So.
Yeah, and it was really awesome about our sponsors that they're not literally just a paycheck. Our sponsors come to our events. So a lot of times they're speakers at our events. They're engaging with our members. A lot of our sponsors, they'll work out of our co-working space. So they might take a day to work remotely, and you'll see them in our workspace, and they'll say hello, and we're actually really happy to make sure and have that type of relationship where they actually engage with us. Is not simply here's a check and hope everything works out well. Like, they're part of our community, and we just got a new sponsor, the Cap Times. So I believe last week that became official. So the Cap Times is also now one of our sponsors, and we're just kind of happy to have them on board with us as well. So we want to kind of continue to develop these relationships in Madison, because that's part of our growth and what makes us sustainable.
That's pretty much it.
So, yeah, definitely. If you have any, feedback, questions, or even ideas, we're definitely happy to hear.
Great. I'll pass around the mic to anyone who has questions. Just throw your hand up.
You guys work, I think you guys have had some partnership, obviously, with the Madison Region Economic Partnership. I think Michael Gay is very involved and knows about you guys and about promoting you guys. You guys do work with, to explain your relationship to like Generator, Sector 67, some of the other stuff kind of going on more at the university level. Can you guys just talk a little bit about how you guys interact with those groups?
Yeah, so we do everything with those kind of case to case. So the Generator, they have an accelerator program which we do not have. So when people are looking for that, we say, hey, this is better for you. And Generator's right downstairs at this point. So that's what we do. And a lot of times for even events, like they're really good at education, especially based on like finding funding. And they might have a special events where Troy, one of the founders, he's speaking about it. And we'll tell all our members, hey, for lunch, let's go downstairs and get some education directly from the source. So that's a lot of like our relationship with them. It's a lot of case to case, and it's been worked out pretty well. Sector 67 is similar. So when we have people interested in membership, but they probably be a better fit for Sector 67, we'll say, hey, you should go there, because we're not just simply trying to get members and it's like, well, you're not benefiting from the membership. We're more like, well, this is better for you. Sector 67 is a place to be.
Do you have any plans to have formal relationships, or like a software platform you could use to formalize relationships between co-working spaces in Madison and elsewhere?
Everyone's 100State is laughing about that because we all thinking the same thing. So one of the technology and software that developed out of 100State is called Town Square, is actually meant for that purpose. Right now, there's because of a lot of the transition, because there was an overlap between the founders of 100State and that technology. So right now we're working on how we're going to finalize the IP and how that's going to look like, and figure out the best way to go forward with that, so we can actually make these better connections from a technology standpoint with all the communities and co-working spaces in Madison. So it's in the works.
If I'm a community member and I want to just check out 100State or learn more, are you open to like people coming in and spending the day or getting to know a couple people there? Yep. Is that an option?
Yeah, that's an option. Like we've had that happen several times where someone said, hey, I just want to check it out. We'll, myself or Christian, we'll give them a tour and we'll say, hey, feel free to spend a day here, meet a few people. We'll do a few introductions for a few people just to say, hey, say hello. So it can be a welcoming atmosphere and they can work for the day. We'll give them the Wi-Fi code, password, and everything. So it's like, that's always fine.
Greg, congratulations on becoming the new executive director. I wondered if you could share a little bit of insight of where you see our organization going in the next few to 5 years or so.
A lot of it is, I guess, being even more connected to the community than we are now. So like there's still a lot of people in Madison who do not know about 100State that should know. So right now we're just really knocking on doors and actually spreading the word. I mean, hence why we're here right now, and we're excited because like people in Louisiana know about 100State right now. So we want to kind of continue to do that. And develop develop more value to our membership. So we're happy about all our members, but we want to make sure that they're getting even more value. And part of that value is going to come by actually adding more connections. So like if you're a member, we want to say, hey, your membership fee also adds value because you have whatever connection with Starting Block now and whatever resources they have. Or Organization A that we're going to make another partnership with. I'm not saying what that is, but we'll be able to say, hey, your membership actually includes that. So we want to actually have added value to our membership, and actually make that, at least on a national scale, as high a level as possible. And the other side is the education side, because we want people to be educated. So with Madison, it's been like maybe from my understanding, the last 5 years, the entrepreneurial community has really been growing and is continuously grow. So what we're doing right now is to make sure that our members and people who are connected to us are prepared for that growth, so they're better positioned to succeed when companies like Zendesk come into town. And that's going to be a continuous thing the next few years. We want to make sure that if you're connected with 100State, like you're prepared for that. Like you have the understanding of how funding works, how to be scalable, the legal side, like all that. We want to make sure that's in place, and that helps with our success story. So next time there's another White House demo day, like we'll have 4 companies there. Like we want to be part of that.
What makes what makes 100State unique compared to other co-working spaces around the country? And is there any co-working spaces you kind of look to as a model to follow?
You want to answer or should I answer?
We can do a little bit of joint answer.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that we are nonprofit. So it's like most, I guess I'm going to say most, but there's a fair amount of co-working spaces that are doing this for profit. And yes, it allows them to grow faster, but we're trying to get involved more in the community than other companies. I mean, we look to other, I guess, co-working spaces. I mean, WeWork is a big one. I mean, they're huge, they're massive, but they have great, workspace They have great workspace, great designs in general. So just to follow off their designs, make sure we can provide a very good-looking workspace for our members is a big thing, and they provide a great example for that.
Yeah, and then kind of like, going on what he said, is I think the community piece. So like me, I'm from New York, so my experience with co-working is a little bit different. Like, when I heard about co-working was through WeWork, and like their membership fee is $350 a month. I mean, to come in for a day at WeWork is $45. Like, our membership fee is $50 a month, right? So it's just a completely different model. But their responsibility to the overall community is a little bit different than 100 States. And that's why it's a little bit different. So like for WeWork, for example, when they exist in co-working in New York or Chicago and all the locations, they're just co-working. Like, they have a great internal community, but their responsibility to the outside community isn't as big. 100 State, like, we have a bigger responsibility to make sure the entire Madison as a whole is benefiting. So we have to spend a lot of time just developing internally with our own internal community, which is our members and our staff, and then make sure we understand what's the implications to the outer community and make sure they're actually involved in that as well. So just the level of responsibility, I would say, for us is just a lot different.
What are your biggest challenges right now?
Our biggest challenges, I think right now it was all the transitioning, because we did a lot of transition like all at once. So we literally flipped the switch on our leadership team, and that's always going to be a challenge, because now you're kind of taking on new relationships and so forth. But I think once, right now I would say we're still in transitioning phase, right? Like right now we're implementing our new ideas, stabilizing things that already existed. I think right now that's the biggest challenge, to make sure we do that in a timely and effective manner that, which our members support and our supporters still think, okay, cool, everything is stable. So like we're trying to make sure that's really, the tone of that is firm. Beyond that is just making sure that the entire community knows that they are part of this growth. Like, just making sure that they're aware of that. Like, that is a big challenge. Like, how do you make sure a city of 250,000, like 90% of that community knows about 100 State in some way? And if they know about us, at least know about our members, because our members still act as ambassadors. And I think that's the biggest challenge, to say that's actually accomplished, but as a goal at the same time.
And then one question we like to ask every presenter is, what can we as a community do to help you move forward?
Well, one thing just very simple. If you haven't seen our space, actually come to see our space, whether it's at an event or coming for a tour. We definitely want to just kind of make sure everyone is like aware of what's happening and what's the energy it feels like there. I can say the obvious. If you know someone who's looking to follow their passion and they want to plug into a community, definitely send them our way.
Learn about events. We aren't a member.
On our website, you go to 100state.com and you can either check our calendar or join our mailing list. Any event that's listed there is meant for the public, so anybody can attend. So if you see it there, it's meant for you.
Are all those events also on your meetup page?
No. So we kind of use that as a different platform for different type of events, because we didn't want to kind of ping people with 100 different events at once. Our calendar, if anyone's seen it, it's kind of jam-packed a lot, so there's always something going on, because some of our events are something that we're creating internally, our members are creating, or our sponsors are creating. So that could lead to, a jam-packed event list. So we kind of just, in terms of our email list and our meetup, we kind of use different channels based on the demographic that's connected to that channel.
Fantastic. Let's give 100 State a round of applause.
Thank you.
And they'll stick around for a minute if anybody wants to talk to them one-on-one. But please help yourself to more coffee and chat it up.
Thank you.